Hi there, I'm John from Essex Wildlife Trust.
And I'm Harriet.
Today we're going to be talking about the common toad.
And we're going to be making a toad abode.
That's right. Now the common toad has declined by 68% in the last 3 decades, so really needs our help. But thankfully there's lots we can do in our gardens and our allotments and our local green spaces that can really make a difference and help the common toad. Now something that we can all do in our gardens is to stop using pesticides and slug repellents. Toads are a gardener's best friend and one of nature's natural pest controllers, eating slugs and snails, and young toadlets later in the summer can even eat aphids and other small inverts. So they really are a gardener's best friend. Now another great habitat to have in your garden, as we know, is a wildlife pond. Now these are vital for toads because they need to lay their spawn in the spring. Now the easy way to tell the difference between toad spawn and frog spawn is frog spawn is in large clumps, whereas toad spawn is laid in long ribbons. So why not have a look in your pond and see if you can see any. Now shelter is another thing that common toads really need. Nice dark damp areas in which they can hibernate in the winter months, but they also need cover in the summer months when it gets really hot and dry. Here we've got a nice log pile that we created. Log piles and dead wood are a great habitat for the toads, particularly if you can pile some old leaves in amongst it, somewhere with lots of crevices for them to crawl into, where they can stay safe and stay warm.
Here is a toad abode that we've created with a log and some bricks. And there's a little hole that the frogs can get under in.
Yeah, and it's great to stuff some old leaves in the hole, some nice shelter that they can burrow into.
This is another toad home that we created by burying a plant pot with soil and leaves, and it's filled with a few leaves, and we put a few logs outside of the entrance, and it's got a little pool by the side of it for the toads. Another way to make a toad home is if you've got a few bricks and a plant pot, and if you have a plant pot like this, you could fill it with a bit of water for the frogs.
Now a man-made shelter can be both deliberate and accidental. Here one of our canoes, upturned for the winter, has created a great habitat underneath where the leaves have blown. So when we move that for the first time in the spring, we'll be really careful to ensure that we don't disturb or crush any toads that are hibernating underneath.
My granddad also found a toad in a sack of soil that he'd been storing for a while.
He did, so beware when moving your garden rubbish. If you've had anything that's sat still over the winter, then it could well be a great little habitat for toads. So when you start moving it, check inside that you're not crushing any toads or not throwing any away. Now we want to hear from you with your sightings of toads and toad spawn later in the summer. There's a recording form on the website you can use to submit your records. You can also submit your sightings using social media and the hashtag Essex Toads. We'd really love to see your toad abodes and what you've been doing in your gardens, so do share your pictures online. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, stay safe.
And stay wild, and get out in your gardens.
Bye bye.